There is power in a story, and we all have a story. Our stories, if told, can inspire, encourage, and motivate. Hi, I am Rhonda, and welcome to the Book of Lives. Hi everyone, welcome to the Book of Lives and welcome to part 2 of the Shabana Lall story. Shabana, hi again.
Hi.
Nice to have you back.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
It's good to have you back. I did want to hear the rest of your story, and I know that the listeners also want to hear the rest of your story. So, Shabana, you are the author of 2 books, and you've always had a passion for writing. You've always had a dream, of being an author. And although that existed, your journey began when something significant occurred in your life, and that was when your marriage ended. Divorce isn't easy.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Divorce is certainly not easy. So tell us, what was your initial response and how did you find strength to pull yourself back up?
I was devastated, to say the least. I was married for 22 years, so that was my whole adult life, So devastated, but the strength, my children, my children definitely, and God, I found God, and I don't think I could have done it if I didn't. I didn't have the physical, emotional, mental strength to continue. And I don't know that there's anything more painful than wanting to get up and move for your children and keep going for your children, but you don't have the strength to, and you don't know what to do. But thankfully I found God. I started praying, and that's where I got the strength for my kids to be able to do it for my kids. So without my kids and without God, I don't think we wouldn't be here today talking.
Well, I'm glad you found the strength in God so that you can be here to tell us your story. I'm truly happy about that. Divorce can bring a mix of emotions. You feel fear, you feel betrayed, and it's particularly, painful when you have kids. And you said it, you have kids are involved. So what are some of the key steps you took to preserve and safeguard the well-being of your children?
Keeping open conversations with them, talking to them, checking in on things, and being honest with them. Letting them know that I shared my journey, with faith, and involved them in that, so that they know. I didn't know about. I wish I knew about God earlier. Not, when I say knew about God, I mean like really have a personal relationship with God sooner, because not that it wouldn't have hurt any less, but it would have gotten me through it. I would have known that I'm going to be okay, and I did it. And I want my kids to know that, they're going to be okay, with God, they'll be okay. And so just sharing my journey with them. Of course, I did counseling. I found an amazing Bible study. I poured into faith, and I tried to teach my kids, this is what got me through. I can't guarantee this is what's always going to get you through, but what do you have to lose if you try?
Mm-hmm. How did you how do you rebuild a sense of self-worth in such a situation?
It's gonna sound repetitive, but I have to tell you, it's God. It's just learning that this didn't happen to me. This happened for me. That it was something that part of what makes things like this hurt is because we have a plan for ourselves, right? I had a plan what I thought my life would look like, and I'm a planner to the T, right? Like I plan what month I want my kids to be born and this and that. But So because my plan didn't work out, I felt devastated, right? My plan didn't work out. How dare, but God has a better plan for us. So for me to learn and diving into my faith and finally getting the message like, Shabana, this didn't happen to you. It's terrible what happened, but it didn't happen to you. It happened for you. So because I have that, I feel that, and I've heard that message a million times, and I really feel that in me. I have the confidence to know that I'm yet to live my best life, you know. So I'm good.
So your faith gave you perspective,
Yes,
helped
yes,
you to see things a little differently. And
yes,
this is not a bad thing. This is not a stumbling block. This is a stepping stone. This is an opportunity.
yes,
Correct?
absolutely. And again, not that it doesn't hurt, it hurts,
Mhm.
but it hurts because it's not what I had in mind, you know, because I would have never envisioned this, you know. But again, it's, you know, God never promised it's going to be easy. He promised he'll get you through. He promised everything. He didn't say it was going to be easy. And I've never experienced I've been lucky. I have to say, I've been blessed my life to not experience any major devastation in my life. And this is probably the biggest thing in my life that I've ever had to experience. And yeah, but I tell you, when it comes to building a relationship with God, that's where I got my confidence from. I'm like, okay, I hear you, God. I hear you. And you keep reassuring me that there's better ahead. I just have to let go of what I thought, what the plans that I had, because he has better for me.
What advice would you give to someone going through a similar situation?
Dive into your faith, whatever that may be. Dive into it, because you can hear advice from a million people, from your closest people. At the end of the day, nobody really knows what you're feeling. Nobody knows what you were living before. They don't know what you're living now, but God does, you know, and it's that faith that's going to have to change your perspective, you know. And just believing in whatever that may be for you, I would say dive into faith, definitely.
What are some of the most important lessons you've learned from all of this?
Oh my gosh. My biggest
Yes.
takeaway is
Mhm.
to pour into your children. Pour into your children. Like you don't realize as you're going through life how much your upbringing has on your adult life,
Mhm.
until I realize now. And I'm like, so my goal is to pour into my children, build that confidence, that self love, so that my children, when they're adults, they don't look for that in somebody else. They're confident and they love themselves and they know their worth. So they're not looking for it in somebody else. That is my biggest takeaway, right? We can't change history. We can't change how we grew up. We can't change the choices we made, but we can do better for our children. So that's my number one lesson. My biggest takeaway was I'm going to pour into my children. I'm going to let my children know how much they're loved. I'm going to let them know that they are good on their own and they don't have to look for that love in somebody else. So, another lesson that I learned through all this, is to have, you know, more confidence in yourself. You know, like, don't be afraid of the unknown, because the unknown might your best is probably yet to come, and you don't know that, just because we're always afraid of the what if it doesn't work out, what am I going to do on my own, what if my you're going to do absolutely fine, and you're going to discover new things, and you're going to live life, you know. So don't be afraid of the unknown, don't be afraid of change.
Oftentimes that's what holds people back, fear of the unknown. But I am
Yes.
happy to see that you have overcome so much. I truly admire, as a woman, I truly admire your strength and your resolve. And you know, life is difficult, right? It's very difficult.
Mhm.
I think we have more downs than ups in life, but you know, I'm grateful that you are here. I'm thankful that you know you've reminded me and you remind us that you know the night might be long, but morning does come. Morning does come.
Ah,
The
it's
night
so
might be
funny
long,
you
but
say
morning
that.
does come. Morning does
Yes.
come.
Yes,
Morning does
right.
come.
What do they say? The sun goes down, but it has to rise, right?
Has to
It has
rise.
to rise back up.
Yeah, has to
So,
rise.
yeah,
Yes. So
absolutely.
Shabana, thank you so much. I know the topic was sensitive, but I truly appreciate you, sharing a little bit with us. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for those of you who are watching, thank you. Stay inspired.